Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Macadocious coming to you live and direct, episode 4. It's been a long time fucking coming, but we're here. We're finally here. We apologize. Technical difficulties, says the man. My boy DK, Sicko, here joining me today. Right off the fucking bat, we're gonna go with some Astros cheating scandal bullshit.
Oh man, so yeah, we talked about this a couple days ago, and the conclusion that I've come to, and I don't really follow baseball too much, but the conclusion that I've come to is, you know, they shouldn't have even been in the World Series, much less defeated the fucking Dodgers. So that's my take on it. What do you guys think about that sort of thing?
Well, then obviously, you know, when we talk about the Astros cheating scandal, we're talking about them using technology, but it's not some shit that's never been done before, because this sign stealing bullshit and all these unwritten rules of baseball. Right. Unless you're a fucking baseball geek, you're really right now wondering what the fuck I'm talking about. But there's these unwritten rules, and so that the Dodgers have been fucked not before they choked last year against the Nationals in the division series, but the previous 2 World Series, they got beat by proven cheaters. Right? I mean, how does that make you feel as a fan?
I mean, that's very upsetting, to be honest. You know, but at the same time, you got to go ahead and just move on, take it for what it is. You know, but what I don't agree, you know, is what the commissioner said. You know,
or about the whole World Series just being a hunk of metal.
A piece of metal.
Not a whole lot of significance.
Right. I mean, you got these athletes that are literally working their asses off all off season, trying to get better. Yeah. You got people's jobs on the line. When you're talking about people's jobs, you're talking about family. So it affects people's wallets. So everything runs through those blue faces, through that money, right? So these people are going to obviously be upset about it. And then you had players like Bellinger and Justin Turner, you know, speaking up and really hammering the commissioner, you know, for his weak punishment. The commissioner talked about how, you know, the players.
It was a players-based.
Yeah, it was a players-based cheating scandal, but no player actually got suspended.
It was the managers.
The managers and the team got fined, and I felt like he kind of took it easy on these guys. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Then they try to say a bullshit ass apologize on camera, and everybody was just hammering them. Twitter, social media. All that, right?
Wow.
Now that we're speaking about social media, I wanted to send a huge shout out to Wicked Baby Doll for the dope merch. I appreciate it. We put that one in the rafters. We're keeping it fresh. We're keeping it clean. So I didn't want to dirty it because I'm pretty fucking clumsy. But the way I felt about it, it went from bad to worse, because then you had the city council, and like we talked about it in a previous episode, that tried to, you know, bring that championship back, bro. And I felt like, all in all, that whole baseball shit is just weak. Like right now, it's a weak product, bro. Nobody really gives a shit about it until the playoffs.
And you know, I feel like, you know, baseball as a sport has kind of been on the downturn for the past, you know, decades.
Especially with this kind of shit. I mean, excuse my language, but you know what? It just gets me to a point where it's further than just Major League Baseball. You know, you have kids growing up in these little leagues, looking up to these guys, you know, and then like for the commissioner to come out and like start saying that this is just a piece of metal. It's like, yeah, I mean, when you're in the little league, you know, you
participation
get
trophies, right?
Participation trophy, all of this, but
right,
you know, you still know as a kid, like, man, it's the world, you know, especially if you love baseball to that point, as you know, as a kid playing baseball,
it's a very significant thing.
Yeah, it is. And then like you get the commissioner who represents all of baseball. Obviously, the guy isn't really the one, you know, swinging the bat. When it comes down to it,
right?
You know,
well,
that kind of comment,
so
you know?
I think it's because how old is this guy? Like 70?
Who's this? Rob Manfred.
commissioner?
Rob Manfred is the by the way, that's his fucking name.
He's like 70, right? Or something like
Yeah,
that.
he's old.
How many World Series has he seen in his life? Probably what 60,
55, at least 60.
So of course it's 100, a hunk of metal. But when you have these fucking 20-year-olds, 23-year-olds
of course,
out there that's only seen a handful of championships and they've worked their whole fucking life to get to this point, that's very disrespectful for him to bring any sort of shed any sort of negative light on the significance of this event. You know,
Right. Well, see, trip out of this, you got players like Pete Rose that obviously, if you don't know about Pete Rose, he got caught, betting on baseball, so he got banned for life. And you got players like him that are on that side of the ball or the territory, and they're saying, "Hey, that's bullshit. If they don't get punished, then I shouldn't be punished for what the fuck I did, because I want to be in the Hall of Fame too." You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it's just a fucking mess, and baseball is something that we're probably going to keep talking about as just being a joke. Right now it's a joke. But switching on over to some shit that really isn't no joke is this coronavirus, right?
A lot of condolences. I want to first send it out to all the people that have been affected, especially the ones in Wuhan. They've definitely had the brunt of all of this, not only with the coronavirus, but the way their government has been dealing with the situation.
And then obviously, when we're talking about the coronavirus, we're aware of the presumed involvement of what some of us believe, as far as the military, and how coincidental it is that all these set of events have all pretty much been triggered in the same amount, the same time frame.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I want to get into this real quick. I'm just going to break this down in a nutshell. So obviously, a lot of people aren't taking this thing very seriously, and I want to be the first one to tell you this is a global pandemic, and this is a very big deal. Everybody needs to wash their hands and take the necessary precautions. And on top of that, the events that were transpiring, like you mentioned, I believe in 2015 there were studies done on particular types of coronavirus and things along those lines, and then from there until pretty much recently, there were a lot of operatives of China at various universities within the United States studying these types of viruses to ultimately relay that information back to the Chinese Communist Party and then develop some sort of biological weapons. So that's what we do know. We also know that the United States government in the past couple weeks has been indicting many of these individuals that have done said things. So that's definitely what we do know. Also, there's also rumors that they've taken certain biological material from Canada. They have facilities in Canada where they do much of the same thing, research in biological weapons and things like that. And there's been numerous reports of people from the Communist Party infiltrating their research facilities and then getting information and biological materials to study.
Now,
wow,
this is a pretty big topic, and people are going to be like, well, where did you get all of this information? Right. We know you. Here at the show, we all...
Understood.
Mac,
we stay woke.
We talk to DK. So for someone out there, they're going to probably ask for sources. So it's like, can we go ahead and give them some type of lean
sources
or some type of leadway?
This is what I can tell you. This information, I right off the top of my head, I can't necessarily think of exactly where I got each bit of information from. But what I can tell you is that most of my information comes from CDC website, World Health Organization website. I also get my information from obviously CNN, Fox, but also independent news sources. Shout out to China Uncensored as well as America Unscripted on YouTube. Very knowledgeable guy, and he cites all of his information back to particular articles, even in different countries and stuff. So it's very valuable and in-depth information. Absolutely. So yeah, shout out that guy, and that's predominantly where I get my information from.
And then shout out, obviously, like always, Orient Morningstar.
Oh yeah,
676
right
on Instagram. That dude got a lot of good content. But also, I wanted to bring up this new footage that I actually saw on Instagram today, and I believe the Instagram page is Chicano Worldstar or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna confirm and double check before the end of the show. But they showed citizens of China literally coughing inside of the mask and then throwing it out a window from a building, and they repeatedly just coughing in and throwing it out.
There's been a lot of instances where I've seen personally videos of people that are infected with a virus, predominantly in hospitals, but they're coughing all over the buttons and stuff like that. But they're obviously their main drive is to infect more people.
Right. And I'm obviously going to try to confirm this fucking page right now, just to get everybody on the same page as far as where we got this from. But in general, there's a lot of shady shit going on, and you got some people on one side of the fence and some people on the other that are basically saying, hey, look at that other side. The other side, they're a bunch of sheep. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about because the numbers don't lie.
Right.
You know, what's happening in China is not fake. This shit is real. People are actually fucking dying.
People are dying by the thousands.
You know, and it pretty soon, if we don't do what we're supposed to do, what we're being told to do,
and take preventative measures,
then it's gonna end up spreading here.
Absolutely.
And the shit is just inevitable. People gotta take it serious. I mean, if you don't, that's cool. That's on you. But we try to bring you that information, and also push some real content. Talking about real content, we got more videos on the blog. As always, follow the Macadocious Perspective on Instagram and YouTube. Make sure you share it with a friend, with a baby mama, girlfriend, whatever the fuck the case may be. But share it. Now, we also got some shit going on in Africa. What the fuck is going on over there?
Right.
Bro?
So we have the African locust plague, and obviously these are rough numbers, but approximately 200 billion locusts, and they're terrorizing local agricultural industries in various parts of Africa. And these parts where it's affecting, it's already in a very crippled state as far as food supplies as it is. So this is
just eat the vegetation.
just compounding the problem. Yeah.
Wow.
And they do eat the vegetation and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's just all coincidental.
And if you're wondering how we went from sports to politics to coronavirus, and you didn't notice that curveball we threw you, that's what we do here at the fucking Macadocious Perspective Show. We hit you with some legit shit, but we got sources and we cite our shit. So we keep it real. Now, the African locust is not a similar situation than the coronavirus, but how does it affect a country when you got millions of fucking insects in the air and shit, you know?
Well, the way that it affects the country, first of all, like I mentioned, agriculture. You know, in a place that's already not as well off as most countries when it comes to food supply. Secondly, it's affecting industry. You know what I mean? So whatever industry they have in these regions of Africa is being sort of pushed to a halt, because it's like it's making it difficult for a lot of transportation to happen, a lot of just everyday jobs to be performed. So that's also affecting the economy as well.
Livestock
to some degree,
right?
Yeah.
Food, resources for
Absolutely.
livestock and stuff like that, right?
Putting a strain on
transportation, obviously, public transportation, I would say would be affected mostly.
Absolutely.
You know, I don't think these motherfuckers are up there in the sky.
And I haven't heard anything about this. I haven't heard about any like disease being.
That was my next question.
Right.
You know, like can they transfer certain
I don't know. I haven't heard of it.
Like,
but I feel like if it's 200 billion, like one of them, at least like 10,000 of them have to have maybe some disease that could be transmitted to humans. And
right.
And in a lot of countries, I even hear people in Yemen are fucking eating these desert locusts for They're turning their life gave them lemons. They're making
they're
lemonade.
pretty
out of
big,
it,
right? Like, I mean, how big would you say?
I would say they're about this big.
Damn.
They're about this big, and
So
they
what is it,
essentially
like
a big grasshopper
like
that
a-
can fly long distances.
So it's like a good fucking source of protein, I guess, out
Yeah,
there in
right.
Yemen.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
and other
other countries.
Shish kebab, you know, or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, right,
But
right.
like we said,
Fucking wrap
disease, we
bacon
don't
around
fucking-
it and shit, you know? You know, bacon
If
fucking
they-
wrap
if
locusts
they,
for you.
If they had bacon, I don't think they'd be
You
eating
know,
locusts.
Right.
look at some fucking locusts. We'll just wrap it with bacon and shit. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It'll
Might
be
actually
good.
be
They
good,
said.
yeah.
It'd be good. They said.
What doesn't taste good with bacon?
You know, and talking about bacon and tasting good, you know, I did want to say this. Some of the shit that I've heard from what these people have been eating in China
Mhm.
just makes the locust sound pretty legit. You know, like something you would be able to try
Right,
instead of
absolutely.
this bullshit they're
I mean, you
eating
got
in
bat,
China.
you got bat soup on the menu, and obviously they do consume insects as well.
Right.
So
Right.
and then
It's,
So, yeah,
I
see,
believe,
they could totally
in
eat that.
some regions it's common to get like insect snacks on the street, like
yeah, absolutely. Hey, you know what they should do? People, all right. So a little idea. Go wherever you want with it. Government of Africa. You should take all these fucking dead locusts, right? You should freeze dry them, package them up real nice, throw a nice little label on it, and save that shit and sell it to China at some point.
Man, they're probably feeding it to us.
Oh,
Or at least mix it up and then sell it to somebody that's trying to sell the protein powders and shit.
Yeah. A good fucking source of gains and shit. You know what I mean?
Dude, I can see
Yeah,
that
I mean,
happening. I can see that happening.
Yeah. Talking about gains and just gaining a better perspective, and go figure. This is the Macadocious Perspective Show. As always, follow us and subscribe on YouTube, and give us a shout out. Show us some love. Let's get those views up, baby.
Sure.
Let's go.
Let's go. Subscribers, we're trying to hit
Appreciate
100
every one of you.
by at least at the end of March.
100. We're at 58. We just need quite a few more. Come on. Tell somebody, like I said, baby mama, girlfriend, mistress, whatever.
Absolutely.
Just tell somebody. But last week, we ended up being at a fucking show where it was lit as a motherfucker. The shit was lit.
Shout out Underground Hip Hop for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Shout out Jasso. Hey, you got down on that stage, bro. Like I said, I need to get you on the show. I'm gonna link up with you. Jasso the Juggernaut on
Good
Instagram.
people.
Underground Hip Hop blog on Instagram. Prime God too. I seen him out. Prime God 87. I seen him out there taking footage and shit. That dude gets down. He delivers some fucking legit content, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so Prime God 87, follow him on Instagram. Shout out to him. We basically got hooked up, with a good package. The homie Vic at Underground Hip Hop blog always takes care of us. Got some VIP access, bro. We got to see two of the dumbest shit ever seen anywhere at a fucking show in the same night.
And let's not discredit how good of the show was.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great show.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
did encounter some.
Like I said, the shit was lit.
Mhm.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
The shit was lit, fam.
Not to discourage
The shit was lit. If you were there,
Great.
if you know, you know. If you were there, you saw it, you witnessed it, and you left home a happy fucking person.
Yeah, and if you
were satisfied.
And if you know when it's that lit, there's always going to be this type of element.
Oh yeah,
You know,
activity.
that type of activity.
I mean, hey, it is what it is, bro. But like I said, there was a fight. There was somebody shit their pants, and they got knocked out a couple of times. They had to be fucking thrown out by security. Shout out to the security guys that were able to fucking that were willing to put their hands in that mess. I don't know how the fuck they did it. I hope you guys wash your hands, because that coronavirus ain't no fucking joke, fam. I'm letting you know. We've been trying to tell you. Listen to the facts. We only bring you facts.
Yeah.
But the shit was crazy. I mean, the atmosphere was lit. Like I said, the homie Jazzo got down. Also, shout out attorney Rosenberg. shout out to him. We ran into him at the VIP section, like always. He said what's up, so we got to show him some love on the show. He follows the show, so thank you for the love and the support. I appreciate it. You know, I was able to like witness something like unexpected because I didn't know a little bit of how that show was going to go down at the end.
Yeah.
And I know that you were like, oh shit.
Man, that was just wild, man. Basically, some guy was on one. You know, the dude was just out of control. Just wasn't really aware, you know, what was going on around him. Apparently, I guess he bumped into the wrong people, and you know, boom, fight started. Yeah, but the other guy obviously knew what was going on. He retreated at one point. You know, some of his people, you know, took him away. But basically, this guy at one point that was, you know, not aware, he slipped. I'm not so sure. Some people say that on his own feces. Other people say that fear. But it gets worse. This guy was he hit his head, you know, on one of the benches, one of the seats by the wall. Yeah. And so did the security guard, also trying to get him at one point. Also slipped. Might be on the same feces. I'm not so sure.
Damn, that's all bad, bro. That's a shitty situation, to say the least.
Yo, but let's go ahead and, like, you know, appreciate the show for what it was. Shout out freaking Starface. Great show, man.
Yes, sir. The show was dope. Like I said, the atmosphere was dope. The night went good. Also talk about that video that was on Underground Hip Hop blog at Instagram. There's a dude smoking a pookie.
See, that could be related, you know.
It could be the same guy.
I feel like it might be
it could be the same guy.
And I'm just going to put it at that because, I mean, I don't know how many people, you know, take a pookie inside to a show, yet alone, you know, you have two. That guy was definitely... You know, he showed that those kind of signs.
Yeah, you know, I felt like it was a blessing to be able to like see Czarface.
Yeah.
Shout out to him, Czarface, live, and I didn't know who Czarface was, bro. But like I saw him and I was like, oh shit, this dude gets down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So obviously, he got down. He killed that fucking mic. For MCs right now, talking about favorites for each one of us. Who are your favorite MCs right now?
Heavy rotation right now. First and foremost, Lil Wayne. I want to shout out him. My boy Chirax in Marksville, Louisiana. Shout out him. And I'd have to say Lil TJ. And my boy Kevin Bangs, bro. He's putting out them fucking bangers lately. I want to.
Oh shit! But, shout out Kevin Bangs, bro.
For sure.
Yeah,
he hasn't put it out on the internet quite yet, but we're still working on it.
That's right.
How about you? Who's on a heavy rotation for you?
I mean, it's kind of hard to decide, to be honest. But I want to go ahead and first and foremost, you know, talking about heavy rotation. Mainly it's more underground. You know, I got AJ. aka Mike Craftsman. Go ahead and give him a follow. Check out his music.
Shout out Craftsman.
His work speaks for itself. Another one that, you know, their work speaks for them is the Adani, that guy, Rasan, talented dude, along with RJ, and they're out from Louisiana. They're actually a group, part of a group, the Fourth Eye Tribe. So go ahead and...
In New Orleans, right?
Yeah, New Orleans.
Okay. Speaking of New Orleans, shout out Ty. So Ty, if you can check those guys out in New Orleans, because he's over there.
Yes, sir. Ty, yes, sir.
And speaking of Lil Wayne, he's in Holly Grove too. I mean, I wish you would have met Ty while he was here, dude. He's a cool cat. But.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Spliffs himself. And talking about some dope shit too. Here, for me, like, I've been fucking a lot with everybody in the LA scene, underground shit, independent shit. You know, for my people, like, we got dudes locally like Namek, Devour. You got YBE. You got Young Drummer Boy, which shout out to him. I met him in person, like I said before. Cool ass fucking cat, down to earth. Appreciate that shit. I'm gonna remember that conversation. That shit gave me some motivation. So appreciate it, bro. Drummer 909, appreciate it. Like I said, you know, Baldacci, You got dudes like CNG Easy that are coming up, also from Pomona.
Wicked Baby Doll.
Yeah, Wicked Baby Doll.
Yeah.
She gets down fucking in Spanish and English, and she'll tell you straight to your face how it is. She's down as fuck. A lot of heads, bro. You got Misfit Soto, Baby Bounce, OKM. Like I listen to all these homies, dog. You know, like they're the ones who are basically picking up the fucking slack for all the Chicanos, and they give it a different twist, a different flavor to the game, you know. And that's what we do here. We shout out people that are in the field, that are putting in work, and we recognize them for their talents and their fucking hard work. So we always invite anybody to come out and get on the show and talk about whatever the fuck you want to get off your chest. That's how we do it here at the Macadocious Perspective, and we support you. Much love to everybody who has subscribed, followed, liked, shared, commented, or send us some feedback, whether it was good or bad. We take it all as it comes, and we appreciate it. Macadocious Perspective, episode 4. Hey, it was a long time coming, but we got it done. Much love, peace, and I'm out.